Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, it's Friday, and that means our normal Friday guest, Steve Pokin of the Springfield News Leader, is kind enough to join us in the studio today. Steve, thanks so much for being here.
Well, thank you. I was glad to be here.
All right, and your story today discusses a question that you got from a reader, and it's a question that many people that aren't natives to Springfield or are coming in from out of town might have regarding the naming of some of our roads here in town.
Well, yeah, I've been here 8.5 years, and as a reporter, I'm always, now what is it? It's the Chestnut Expressway. It's the Kansas Expressway. And it took me a while to, expressway, what does that mean to you? It means you think of it.
Go fast.
Yeah, you're going fast. And so reader Scott Sturm asked, why do they call them expressways? You're not going that fast. And I think a little bit tongue-in-cheek, he also said, when visitors come and tourists, are they laughing at our expressways? Is this all that Springfield's got? This is an expressway? You know, and so, you know, what is this, Mayberry and small town roads? And he actually went out and drove the 7-mile stretch of Chestnut Expressway from Highway 65 to West Bypass 160, 21 traffic lights. And he drove the Kansas Expressway from Republic to Norton, which is just north of 44, and as did I, and 22 traffic lights. Chestnut Expressway, the miles per hour speed limit is 40. Kansas is 40 and 45. So this ain't exactly the Autobahn in Germany. You know, so I timed both. When I drove it, I timed it 12 minutes on Chestnut from point to point, 16 minutes on Kansas, and that works out to 32 miles per hour on Chestnut and 28 on Kansas. So you're really not going that fast when you're stopping at all the traffic lights. And that got me to thinking, you know, some people do that on a bicycle. So I looked up the Tour de France, which is over 1,000 miles, and you have to go over the Pyrenees Mountains. Those guys, over days, average 25 miles per hour, which is basically what you're doing on our Kansas Expressway. So why? Why are we calling them expressways and confusing people who don't live here? Well, I talked to Cindy Dunaway, who is the district traffic engineer with MoDOT, Missouri Department of Transportation, and that is the agency, not the city of Springfield, that monitors and maintains both of our expressways. And in this case in Springfield, an expressway means it's an arterial road, which is a main road that can get you from across the city with limited access. You know, the idea is people aren't going to be backing out of driveways, so limited driveways, and if there are driveways, it's probably into a shopping center rather than into homes. And, you know, you would think with limited traffic lights. Well, they're not that limited. But she also pointed out that on the Kansas Expressway, for most of it, there is a median that kind of controls and directs and limits traffic. So I asked her, you know, who named them expressways, and that preceded her time here. So I don't have an answer to that. But for instance, the James River Freeway is far more limited access. It's at the interchanges, and like Campbell and National, the north-south roads go overhead, so, and there aren't any driveways. Yeah. So a freeway in Springfield is far more limited. And interestingly enough, I tried to think of other, you know, other cities and what they have, and she said the very same stretch of roadway in St. Louis they call a boulevard. Now, to me, that makes more sense than expressway, because as you said, when you think of expressway, you're thinking of driving fast. And in Kansas City, the very same layout is called a parkway. So even within the state, they're called different things.
Yeah, they're called different things, and we do have a parkway here in Springfield. It's a JQH Parkway, which is in the middle of town, but you're not going to be going very fast on that because it's a small little road as well. So that leads to the confusion as well for people that are coming into out of town. So there is a sort of a method to the road naming, but it varies depending on where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think that the point of the reader was that if you're new to town and you're trying to get from here to here, and you go, oh look, let's take the Chestnut Expressway and we can be there, and it won't take that long. Well, wrong.
You came from St. Louis. Did it throw you off at first when you first got here?
It did. It did in the fact that I'm a print journalist, and so we're always talking about these roadways. And is it the Chestnut Expressway? And then they say, well, yeah, it is. And then you mean the street that's right outside the newspaper building? That's an expressway? Why is that? And nobody really had an answer, but now I sort of kind of have one.
Yeah, now we know. When's the story coming out in the News Leader?
It is coming out in Sunday's paper.
All right, it'll be there. Check it out if you want to. Good clarification for a question I know a lot of people probably have. People have asked me the same question. I didn't know until now. Steve, thanks so much for coming in, and we'll see you here. We're going to take a little break for the holidays. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll see you then. See you next year.
Yeah, next year, 2021. All right, well, we'll have more Ozarks Tonight right after this.